Oh, let's see if my audio's up here. Oh man, I can't hear you. Oh no! Yeah, can you hear me now? You can hear me? I can't hear you. Oh no! Let's see. I turn off my Bluetooth. All right, can you hear me? All right, I'm gonna come back in. Kyle's coming back. Let's see if still can't hear me. Well, let's see if Kyle's any better here. We
I
did
can
it.
hear you.
I can hear you. Technical difficulty, but you know what? Just reset it. Go again.
Yeah, why not? That's like tech support. Try turning it off and turning it back on.
Exactly.
Now, can everybody else hear us? There we go.
That's
We
the
have
good one.
sound now.
We
Look
hear
at Hootie
now.
Hoo with all the
Hootie Hoo, what's up,
comments.
buddy?
Nothing, man. I'm doing good.
Awesome.
How are you?
Good, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
so far so good. Middle of the week, we got this, right?
I figured, that's why I started doing it on Wednesday. One, it made sense with our personal calendar, kids, not much going on tonight.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
hump day, help people get through the week with some chatting and some comic relief.
Exactly.
Figured it made
Put on
sense.
a show, keep it
Just
light.
sing and sing and dance for the people. How you doing, Bill? Before we start, Hootie Hoo, I'd love to get you on one of these lives. I started doing one every week just to help like cross pollinate everyone's channel and get to know people and just have a little fun. So I'd love to get you on one of these lives as well. So, but anyway, let's begin. I have 3 questions for you before you ask me
Oh
one.
wow. All right, here we go.
And I'm going to start every live with the same question. And I've done this on social media, so you may have seen this already. But if you could meet anyone in the Bible besides Jesus, who would it be and why? I'm not sure how religious you are, but even if you're not, who would it be?
Oh man. All right, let me think here.
It's hard. There's a lot of choices,
Hmm.
and I can tell you mine first if you'd like.
Besides Jesus though, huh? What was Simon Peter, his buddy there?
Yeah, that's a
Right?
great choice.
I was gonna say I think, you need to have even today, you need to have a support network. Like I said, I grew up in a Christian household. We used to go to church every Sunday and all that. So it's not like we're, you know, uh super religious or anything like that, but we're pretty standard, just go to church. I used to go to what was it, junior youth ministry,
Mm-hmm.
JYM and all that. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I went through there, Boy Scouts through the church and all that, so that's great. And I remember some of the stories. I remember Simon Peter came up a bunch of times. But yeah, not to go into too much detail, I'm thinking that guy. Yeah, Simon's a good dude.
It's a great choice. My favorite verse in the Bible is when Simon Peter first met Jesus. And forget the exact words, but he says like, "Depart from me, I'm not worthy." And
Yeah,
and Jesus says, "No, I'm going to make you a fisher of men," or however they word it. And that's my favorite story from the Bible.
awesome. That one threw me off. I was like, what? 12 top 12 guns? What do you want from me?
No, we're starting with Jesus first.
What's
And
your favorite
somebody said,
chemical reaction?
yeah, somebody said Moses. Moses is a great
Moses
choice
good.
as well. That's a very, very good choice as well. Anyway,
Awesome.
tell everybody about yourself and
Sure.
whatever else you want to let them know about you. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so my name is Kyle. Run the channel Gear Know How. We just got over 50,000 subs, which is pretty nice milestone.
Mm,
Been seriously doing YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, all that stuff for probably going on probably 5 years now. Probably back in like 2018, 19, started really kind of taking it seriously, doing like weekly videos just in my free time. I think a lot of us join this because we enjoy it. We like
mhm.
sharing knowledge and learning new stuff, especially 'cause that's what YouTube's for, just typing in like how to do something and then you run with it and try to fix stuff. That's how I kind of fell into it. Do a video every week. Just started a new channel series called Movie Monday because I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of us love movies, and then if you're like me, you're watching the guns in movies and be like, wow, that was a terrible choice, or wow, that's really cool, where's the sight? That's the number one thing. Where are the sights? Like, it's always, they always do that. So it's
Or
just
they have a
fun.
shotgun and they shoot 10,000 rounds before they have to reload or something.
Yeah, or my personal favorite is the unholsters a Glock and you hear click click
Yeah. Yeah.
every time.
Racking the slide on the revolver, like, wait a minute.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean that's my channel. I do not only firearm stuff. I mean, I do things I love. So camping, truck stuff. I did a lot of rooftop tent videos with my son there, and he has a lot of fun. Unboxing videos, DIY projects around the house, hanging up string lights in like a professional way to keep
I
them
saw
running. They
that.
last years. They're still
Mhm.
up, still going strong. So I did good. So yeah, no, that kind of stuff just interests me, and that's what I throw on camera and try to share.
Awesome, man. So speak a little more about the movie guns. What exactly do you do in those videos?
So yeah, so originally my original thought process was to review a movie in the first like 5 minutes, talk about the movie, and then talk about each gun that I see throughout the movie, kind of starting from beginning to end. And then, but what happened was the videos were like 40 minutes long, and that's kind of
Mm,
long, and just kind of tedious to not only edit, but then also someone to watch through that and get excited about all the guns through it. But because it was so long, was because I was taking the gun. If I have it in my safe, I'd go to the range. I talk about how it works and how it functions, which is cool. But now I'm going just talking about how it functions, how it works, and saying, yeah, there's a Glock 19 there, there's a Glock 17 here. Here's some footage of me shooting it, and that way it's a little quicker. So these videos
mm.
are about 15 minutes long. You could expect a short movie synopsis if it's a newer movie like Mickey 17 just came out. There's a no spoiler thing in the beginning. I'm like, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Here's like footage from the trailer, right?
Yeah.
And talking about some of the guns that I saw, like, oh, it's a Tavor. You never see Tavors in movies anymore. That's really cool. Or a flamethrower they mocked up with like a freaking gasoline can. It's like the most random stuff. So yeah, so it's Movie Monday every Monday. I think this Monday, I guess I'll let you guys know is going to be what is it? Baby Driver. Baby Driver from like 10 years ago. Have you ever watched that one? Oh,
Mm-mm, I don't think
so
I've even heard of it.
it's so good. I look up Baby Driver. It was
I
like
do.
a random heist movie back in like 2014. Fantastic. Has like a great
Yeah.
cast and a ton of gunplay, a lot of shotguns for the robbers, and it was a good time.
Yeah, there was a long period of time when, especially when my kids were first born, that we did not watch movies at all. We just
Oh yeah.
so there's so like all my friends make fun of me, and even growing up as a kid, we never watched movies ever.
Yep.
Like so, when I got married and had kids, I had never watched any 007, Star
Yeah.
Wars. There's so many series that I've never watched that like coworkers and friends of mine just like dog me for because like how did you never watch a James Bond movie or a Star Wars movie? You know?
Now my folks never. I don't know if it's just because they wanted to save money or what, but they would never take us to the theater, and I get it, right? We'd never seen it, so we watch whatever's on cable. So I remember as a kid watching USA Network, TNT, TBS, all those movies that are like cut for TV.
Yeah.
Like watch like Air Force One, it's like all dubbed over, like all cut up, and it was just fun just watching those old movies. But I get it. I think how old are your kids now?
16 and 11.
Okay, so I'm right behind you. So I'm seven and actually, yeah, going on 8, 7 and 3. So my blur time for movies where we couldn't even see anything was from like 2017 to like 2021 when that baby stages are happening. Oh
Yep.
my God, there's no time for
There's no
anything.
time. No, there's just no
Yeah,
time. No.
yeah.
So when I was a kid on TV, we didn't have many movies because when I was a kid, we only had the three stations that you had to
Oh, the
like
analog,
channel
yeah.
6, channel 10, and then channel 64. And that was it. That's all we got. I'm dating myself.
No, that was my grandmother's house, and in fact, it was funny. My grandfather had a bunch of VHSs that he recorded. So WWE would come on one of those
Mm.
channels like every Saturday night. So he just record all the wrestling matches and then like watch them throughout the week. And it was like, when nothing else is on, let's put this on. And it was a different time. Crazy, huh?
Crazy. Yeah, Bill. My daughter is 16. Holy crap is right. She's driving. So if you see my
Oh,
Bronco rolling down the road, don't come over and say hi. Just turn around and drive the other way because she's doing well.
shield yourself.
Yeah. Scary, scary. She's doing
I
well.
got
It's
a few
just,
years.
yeah, first time I've ever taught anyone to drive, so I'm not really sure what to do, and we're figuring out as we go, both of us. But she's doing well. So
My
yeah.
dad took me to the local big arena where they do all the concerts at. I think it was called PNC. Now it's like Lenovo Arena. But yeah, it was a giant parking lot before I even got my learner's permit. And he was like, "Hey, here's the keys. I'm gonna sit here. If anything happens, I'm gonna reach over and like jam your knee down to stop the car." But it was good. You should go slow and turn. And plus, you can
Figure
understand
it
the
out.
brakes and the gas. It's most important thing is understand the brakes. So he'd be like, "All right, go up to this concrete, one of the pillars on the ground there, one of the concrete stoppers there, and just stop before that concrete, and then learn." And just those little things I think really help before the test.
Yeah. Yeah. The test is totally different now in Rhode Island, so they don't do a live driving test on the road. They have a closed course in a parking lot that you like parallel park and drive and pull over
Oh
here. I'm like,
wow,
it's so stupid because
what
it's
is
not. You don't
that?
get to. Yeah, you don't. They need to be on the road so you can see if they can be safe. But that's Rhode Island for you. So what are you gonna do?
I don't know,
All right.
man. That's crazy.
What do you got for me?
Oh, I don't know. So I guess I'm your second live stream. I think I heard.
That's it. Yeah, I
Who was the
just
first?
started
Who's the
this.
first?
Scott from Drop It Like It's Scott.
Oh, good dude. All right.
Yeah, and then next week, so I have a couple laid out. Next week, I have Matt from RTT Guns.
Okay.
Then after that is Josh from Black Diamond Guns and Gear. And then Grab Bags, the company who makes those magnetic breakaway
Yeah.
sling bags. And then after that is Northwood Nobodies. Then after that, I'm going live. I'll be on vacation, so I'm going to go live from St. John. And then I have the last 2 weeks open in April that I'll have to get somebody on for.
Yeah, you were telling about St. John. So we went on a cruise a couple of summers ago now to St. Lucius, right? So I think, or
Mhm.
St. Thomas, which is
Yep.
right there, right? So and I remember we were talking about St. John, which is like another hop, skip over. But yeah, you guys go there a bunch, huh? Pretty good place.
Yeah, we try to go every year. St. Thomas and St. John is very different, and St. John's not for everyone. Like my stepbrother wanted, like we go with a couple of our friends, and my stepbrother wanted to come with us to St. John, and I'm like, no. He's like, what do you mean no? Like we're close. I'm like, dude, this isn't the place for you. There's no bars, there's no jet skis, there's no go go go, there's no crazy. It's a fairly laid back. You spend the day on the beach. You go to happy hour and get a drink, and then go get changed and have dinner, and you're in bed by 9, 10 o'clock. The island's so small, there's not even a red light on the entire island.
Yeah.
It's really small, really laid back. You drive on the left, which is a blast,
Yep.
and the fastest speed limit is 20 miles an hour. So you're going real slow. You're cruising, and it's funny that like the bartenders are funny. The first time we went to the bar years ago, we're leaving, and they're like, "Oh, do you guys?" They asked me, "Do you want something to go?" I was like, "No, I'm driving, but thank you." They're like, "So do you?" They call them roadies. "Do you want a roadie?" I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm driving." They're like, "So do you want a roadie?" Like drinking and driving there is eh, not
No,
very.
there's no
Yeah,
stoplight. We have one cop and he's asleep. I don't know what you.
they don't care. They just don't care. Yeah, it's just a different world. And it's funny as you drive from town to the beaches, you're driving on the left side of the road, and then if you go like a foot off of the road, like the breakdown lane's probably only 6, 7, 8 inches. It's not big. If you
Yep.
go past that, it's a cliff, and like game over cliff. Like it's not a little cliff. You're hundreds of feet up, and most
Oh
of the place doesn't have Jersey barriers. So like my wife, when we go, my wife's like, "Nope, I'm not driving." Mm-mm. So it's all
no,
me.
you got to
But
be careful. Yeah.
what a great combo of giant cliffs and then you can drink and drive. It's like
That was the one that you couldn't. You had to fly in to the other island and then ferry over. Right? There's like nothing really get over there. There's no ships over there either.
correct. So St. John is different in that aspect for a couple reasons. There's no airport. There's no ferries that pull up. They don't want it built up. They don't want
Yeah.
like there's only one resort. They don't want. There's no chain restaurants or chain Starbucks Dunkin' Donuts, there's none of that. They don't want that. They want it to stay a small island. So years ago, I think it was FDR, I think. Was it FDR? Whoever. He bought 2/3 of the island and gave it back to the people of St. John
Oh
with the
wow.
agreement that they would make it national park, protected national park, and you could never build a house on it.
Hmm.
So the cool thing about that is 2/3 of the island can't be built up, so there's never a lot of people there. Shooting Gallery, New England. Well, just Shooting Gallery of
Oh yeah.
wherever you are now. So
Florida,
2/3.
right?
Yeah, I know that's New England. Nope, Florida. Um, the good thing is there's less people. The bad thing is supply and demand kicks in. A lot of people want to go, and there's not as many houses. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, like the house is just very, very expensive. We'll leave it at that. I don't even want
Oh
to say.
no.
I don't even want to say it. It's yeah, very, very expensive.
Paradise, right?
I think for
That's
us
the
it's
thing.
worth it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for us it's worth it. We love it. That's where we want to be, but not cheap.
Yeah.
Not cheap at all. All right, I got another question for you.
All right, here we go. Who?
That Sig P320 post. I know you saw it because I think you posted something about it. And if
Yeah.
any of you guys are watching and you don't know, Sig made a post, and I kind of disagree with like the entire industry here, but Sig made a post and it showed a picture of a P320 and said, "This ends today."
Yeah.
And pretty much they were saying all of the accusations are all or most or whatever are false. The guns are drop safe. Leave us alone, pretty much. And would that be the very short summary of it, or what do you want to add to it?
No, I think they're trying to be very direct. I want to say it's funny. I wonder if it was on purpose in a way they knew the backlash from at least like us folks and maybe the media side of the firearm industry. I really think that they were like, oh, it ends today. Like, we're going to just try to get past this, like obviously the military, police, all that, they're all picking up this gun anyways. So they're like, let's just get past it. Like, it's fine. But it was very just out of nowhere, just and pretty stern too, right? So it was like, and now I have a bunch of SIGs. I love SIG. They work really good. So uh, yeah, I don't know what they were doing. It almost is like it might be like a marketing thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking that through. Was it on purpose, like you
Yeah,
said, to try to get ahead of some of these lawsuits and stuff, or is it someone in their marketing social media team being kind of blind and deaf and not understanding? And I
yeah.
don't think that's the case. I think they've had so many lawsuits. They must have spent millions of dollars. And the thing most people don't know or don't care or don't pay attention to, whatever, is that all these lawsuits, they won in court like every time. Except for like when the SIG first came out, the P320, before like pre-recoil, there was something there, no doubt. But
Yeah.
after the recall words, um, I think they're good. And every issue they've had, or every like the officer's gun went off. Well, they were using the wrong holster, or this, or this, or this. Like they've all been justified. So I think I don't know. Maybe I'm just naive to it, but it seems like a lot of the lawsuits are kind of BS.
I think they kind of set themselves up that way just because the other problem is they every iteration of a new SIG that came out, like you mentioned, the Gen 1 almost always has issues. We used to joke even a few years ago
Mm,
with like the 365, they would test this stuff on the market. It
yeah.
wasn't even like I remember the Gen 1s, I got like a Gen 2 or whatever, that not really called gens now, but where they were, right? The next round that came out after the
Yep.
fix. But the Gen 1s that were hitting people's hands were all jacked up and there was some issues with like dead triggers and stuff. And I ended up getting a 365 like a few months after they came out. That thing has been flawless, zero issues. Still have it. Threw a bunch of Radiant stuff on there recently, all the afterburner, Ramjet, and everything,
Mm,
and it's been sick. So I can't really knock them for that, but I don't know. And then of course is the issue with this whole military contract that everyone had. Like, how do they possibly win this out of nowhere? Like, you know how it is. It's
yeah.
always like
There was some
conspiracy
weird. Yeah.
theories and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but
The
yeah, I don't know.
arms man. I'm so blind. I got to get close.
Oh
What
yeah.
about the settlements? That's a good question. Are the settlements? Did they settle because the beef is legit, or did they settle because it's cheaper and easier
Yeah.
to do
That's
so than
And that's
uh,
behind closed doors. A lot of that you'll never even know what happened. That's the crazy
that's
part.
that's the tough part. So
Mhm.
it leads people to draw their own conclusion, and you know a lot
But
of
it
that's
was
gonna
very brash. It was very just. here you go. Like
Yeah.
here it is. Like this is us. This is what we're doing. I will say it looks like Smith and Wesson and all those guys are kind of picking up now. They're like kind of making fun at it, poking at it, which is funny. So, and I love Smith
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
waiting for
good.
Ruger.
Yeah, it's good fun. Dude, that Ruger RXM, have you shot and played with that yet?
All right. I don't know if it's controversial or not. That might be my favorite gun of last year. I know it came out in December. I freaking love it. Not only that, I can like just freaking nail it. Super accurate for what it is. I even threw a true precision barrel in there and suppressed it. One of the softest suppressed 9 millimeters
Mm,
I've ever shot.
yeah. I'm gonna answer that
Unmodified.
in a second. I just wanna say good evening to Chris from 740. How you doing, bud? I carry a 365 AXG Legion. That's a fantastic
Yeah.
carry gun, but I won't carry the P320. 11 million is a lot to settle. Yeah, you ain't wrong, man. You ain't
Yeah.
wrong. So the RXM, I felt the same way. I think for the money,
That's
it's tough to
crazy.
beat
Yeah.
when it's modular like that. And mm, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. Somebody is coming out with a very nice uh, metal grip for it, and
Oh, they already announced that on
they
Instagram, I
did.
think.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. I
yeah.
was thinking to myself,
Icarus is the name you're looking at.
yes, yes, yes. So they're coming out with a metal grip,
Yeah.
and I have one on the way, and I can't wait to check it out because man, that's a good gun, and with an Icarus grip, I'm like, that's yeah,
Now I talked to Magpul and Ruger at SHOT Show, and which I mean you talked and did a video and everything too at the old Neomag booth there. But
hmm
I talked with them, and for sure this year, towards the end of the year, they're going to have the bigger grips, G17 grips, which I really am excited about because the problem is it's just like a Glock 19. I don't even own a Glock 19 because my pinky finger almost hangs off the bottom. If it doesn't hang off, it's hitting that flared magwell that's
yeah,
built in, and I just don't like it. I don't like the feel of it. But if you can get like a 19X full grip with that shorter slide, that is going to be honestly, it could be my new carry, could be a new range toy. Like for everything I take to the range, like it's great.
yeah. I'm a big fan of the mullet guns, big grips, short
Yeah, it
slides.
just feels so
Any
good.
any mullet gun, big grip, not as much mass moving back and forth.
It looked
100%
so
sign me up for
weird when
that.
they came out. We were making fun of the 19X so much, but man, that design is nice. Now
Yeah,
carry, it's not as good for carrying, I think, just because of the larger grip, which is fair, but that's not for carrying. That's something for like a sidearm, and that'd be
yeah,
perfect for that.
yeah. That's why I like the Glock 48 too. The little bit
Yeah.
longer grip and a smaller slide. So, um, do you know that Magpul? Most people don't. Magpul came out with the P320 grip at Shot Show this year.
I think I saw it in their glass case, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen any working sets of it yet.
Nobody really knows about it. Nobody talks
Yeah.
about it. My my buddy, local buddy, owns a media company that I do some side work for. It's called Anvil Media, and he grabbed one on the initial release, and he let me borrow the grip module, and I did a video on it. It's an awesome grip for
Yeah.
like a sub $100 grip or any of the polymer. It's my favorite polymer P320 grip. I'll say that. You can't compare it to the aluminum grips from the companies who make
Yeah.
them, but for a polymer grip, it is the nicest. And dude, it's like $65 or something. And it comes with a
Magpul feels good. Just feels good.
yeah.
Good
It
angle
has
too.
that mag pull texture, great shape, and $65 with the mag release. I'm like,
That's the key right there. That is the trick right. And that what is it? Just 320, not 365 yet?
just 320.
That'd be cool to get a
They
365 aftermarket.
yeah, it would be. It would be. But I'm surprised they only charged $65 for it. I was thinking like,
Yeah.
I figured it'd be a lot more expensive.
Their website too, Magpul. I just picked up a couple of things. They're actually back on this table here for review for some MP5 stuff, and their website has some of the best prices too. Surprisingly, like Magpul actually sells the
Mm,
stuff on the website because I was looking at the grips too, and I was like, "Where is the G17 RXM grip?" And it's still just the 19, but they have like three different colors now, like what OD green
yeah,
and
and you know
gray and
they'll be
black,
adding it,
and
like you
it's
said.
coming, it's coming. But again, it was like $50, so I was like, "Hell yeah!" Like that's great.
That's tough to beat. So Brower Precision or Brower whatever grip for the 320. I like the shape. It has like a 1911 type grip for a 320. But the texture I don't love. Like I don't know if they've improved it because I did that video a while ago now, well over a year ago. But it was super slick. So I'm not a big
Oh
fan of
yeah.
those. If they partnered with, have you ever heard of Carbite? They're up in New Hampshire. They've done stuff for Sig. Carbite. Solutions? I don't remember the name, but they
Mm,
put carbide texture, like skateboard tape carbide texture on
yep.
guns. If Brower got with them and put some good aggressive texture on there, that grip would be awesome. That grip would be really
Yeah.
awesome, but it's too slick.
That's what we used to do, right? All the old SIGs used to be real slick. Remember the original Shield? It was like just slick sides. I had to
Yeah.
wrap it up in Talon grip and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. I had an old Ruger. It was so slick. I wrapped skateboard tape around it just
It's
to
crazy how
get
the
a
times
grip.
changed. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Icarus is almost my buddy Steve, Mr. Big Kid. He carries that Icarus every day, and on like the 365 X Macro, and it's like just messing around with it. It really grabs on. Like that is an
Mhm.
aggressive grip. It's kind of like the newer Smith and Wessons.
Yeah, yeah, it's very aggressive. Yes, the arms man said the P320 with that grip is the DH3. It's the Daniel Horner gun, and
Oh
he
yeah,
had them put that super aggressive texture on, and he's not kidding. It is the grip is great. It feels so good, especially that frame is like the Legion frame, so it's really heavy, it's tungsten infused polymer or whatever it is. So it's a really heavy grip with a super aggressive texture. I'd show you, but YouTube doesn't like that. So
yeah.
it's some
Those are
people
all
will have to.
airsoft behind you.
Yeah, yeah. These no. You can show them. You just can't grab them if they're in your hand.
Fiddle. Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't touch a pew, and YouTube will be okay. All right, I got the question of the week for everyone. So not just for you.
All right.
Everyone watching this needs to answer this question as well. Okay? Would you rather? would you rather? would you rather? I can't even say it. Would you rather pee a grape or poop a pineapple?
Wow.
Pee a grape or poop a pineapple?
These are the questions, you know.
This is what makes the world go round right here.
Yeah, this is it. Man, pee a grape or poop a pine cone?
No, pineapple.
Oh, you said pineapple. Oh, it's even worse.
Pineapple.
I was saying it's even worse. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Is anyone going to answer this in the chat? Come on, guys, give me some ideas.
Come on, guys. There's 10 of us. There's 10 of you guys and girls. Answer it. So I recently saw on Instagram, and they can't put anything on Instagram that's not real, that a butthole is supposedly able to stretch 12 inches without being damaged permanently. I can't
Perfectly.
confirm this, but it was on Instagram, so it's got to be true.
I was
Um,
leaning towards that. I was honestly leaning towards the pineapple, to be honest with you. I think, I don't know, man.
it's
Just
terrible either way.
yeah, let's just say medical limitations aside, I think the pineapple might be to get back better from afterwards. I don't know. It
Yeah,
might not be as terrible.
I think I'm with you. I don't want to damage any preciousness. I don't
No,
want
no
to.
precious cargo problems here. Yeah.
Yeah, just that it can't be normal after that. Neither one could be normal after that. I don't think.
What was Austin? All right, so Austin Powers. Did you used to watch those at least? Did you see
Yep.
Austin Powers? Okay.
Yep.
No, Mini Me.
Yep.
Not Mini Me. It was Mike Myers was like having Mini Me like pretend to like piss in a toilet, whatever it was. Do you remember that one? It was, I think it was Gold Members, like the third one.
I saw the movie. I don't remember that part though.
Yeah, it was like he was like tied up with him in like the doctor's office, and he had a water bottle with like stabbed with a thing on the top, and he like squirted it everywhere.
Yeah,
That was like that, like
yeah,
just splashed it all
yeah,
over.
yeah. Oh, it hurts just
Oh
thinking about it.
no! Pineapple it
Oh.
is.
All right, what are these comments? Nope, not doing that. Everyone push
No.
out stones. Yeah, they both sound awful. I'm going with the pineapple. Okay,
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah. If you had to.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. All right, I have two questions specifically for people who are watching right now. So you saw on
Oh,
Instagram. I said, "Hey, ask what questions you want me to ask Kyle,"
yep.
and there was several. There was only two that I really liked enough to ask you. Um, let me see which ones.
Oh
All right.
god.
So there's somebody. This is the serious one. After the last question, there's somebody out there who wants to start a YouTube channel.
Ooh.
What advice would you give them?
Because I was, we talk about this all the time. Like, what would you do different than what when you started? So, a lot of us just do reviews on things we like, which is fine. But if you're in the mindset you want to do this because you're excited about subscribers or view count or this and that, you need to pick a certain subject for that
Mhm.
channel. Let's say you're just doing trucks or cars or whatever, right? Or just guns. Just do that. Don't spread out. Because the problem is you're going to see that there's people who like camping, there's people who like guns, and they sometimes intertwine, but totally different audiences most of the time.
Yep.
And the algorithm shows that.
Mhm.
Now, I still enjoy it. I think I kind of have a catch-all. Things do different. Even movies now, like it's just kind of different things. But not everything's successful. And don't beat yourself up if you do go that route, because some things take off really good, some things are just kind of flatline, and that's how it is. I mean, that's just the world we live in. But I will say it's probably easier to do something not maybe not firearms, but honestly, if you do firearms, just do firearms.
Yes. Great advice. Pick a category and own that category.
Yeah,
And what I told this person was, one, I said just start because
yeah.
um, from the time I started my channel to the time I shared my first video, I don't know if I ever told you this, it took me 12 years. I started my channel in 2008 and I shared my first video October of 2020.
Wow.
So it took
Yeah.
me 12 years to get the guts up. And I look back, like if I had started in 2008, how many subscribers would I have? How big? Who knows? Like who knows?
Yeah. No one was
So
doing it back then. Like not many. Not
no,
nothing
man, it
fancy. Some of
was
the OGs. Yeah.
yeah, it was Mr. Guns and Gear. He's the one who I looked at and I was like, I can do this. And um what's his name?
Crazy. Yeah.
Such, yeah, Such was
Such.
doing
Yeah.
it. And FPS Russia,
Hickok
I loved.
45 FPS.
Yeah, 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 Hickok. I wish we could get FPS Russia back, by the way. He was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, he was. We were just on a live stream not long ago, and we were talking about was another group, and they were talking about FPS Russia was not just a popular gun channel; it was number one for a long time on YouTube. And I
Wow.
remember growing up, like in school, I was like watching these things come out, and I'm like, oh wow, look at these cool videos, like driving to McDonald's in a tank and stuff. Like it was just entertainment. It wasn't just guns, but it was one of the biggest channels and paid really well
Yeah,
through YouTube because of it back when before YouTube kind of shuffled around a lot.
yeah. And how, like, I don't know people's views on marijuana, but how crazy then he went to jail. He lost everything, guns, money, everything for marijuana. And now it's like legalized pretty much,
Yeah.
well, almost everywhere. Every state, it's either decriminalized or at least medically approved. But
Crazy, yep. Just 10 years ago too. Wasn't that long ago.
it
Crazy.
wasn't, it's crazy. So I would, he said, Armsmen said I would have been up there with nothing fancy if I started in 2008. I probably would. I probably have a couple 100,000 subs or something like that. Like I have no idea. So, hey, you live, you learn, and
Yeah.
you can all you do is teach and help people not make the same mistakes you made.
And it's
And
and it's tougher. I think it's tougher now because of how many people are out there, but if you pick a niche and you really own that niche, like there's a few channels that started recently who are
yep,
like about to surpass even us because they picked one thing like, "Oh, military surplus, like this is it, and I'm gonna run with it." Or like there's one
and
guy we
that's what
saw the
they're
other
known
day.
for.
Yeah, there's one guy we saw the other day opening old MREs and like talking about them, and it's just like that's all he does. Like,
My stomach hurts just thinking about all those MRE foods. I
He's
don't
up
want to
like
do
the
that.
40s and 50s. I was like, "Don't do it! Don't
Ooh,
do
yeah, that's
it!"
scary. The new ones hurt my stomach. I can imagine a 70-year-old MRE, what that
Yeah,
does to me.
the
You know,
sludge left
this
over.
past year when we were at, did you go to GunCon this year? This
Yeah,
past year or last
yep.
year?
Yeah, Brownells, yeah.
Yeah. So when I was there, for the first time, I got a little, what's the word I want to use? A little frustrated. And I'm not a jealous person, and I love seeing other people succeed. I truly, truly do. There's enough
Yeah,
space in here for everyone, and that's why I do these videos. But there was literally about a dozen people who came up to either the Neomag booth or saw us, and they recognized me, and we started chatting and blah blah blah. And there was a dozen people who just started their channel within a year, and they have 100,000, 200,000, three
yeah,
hundred thousand because they have one or two videos go viral. And it took one of my coworkers, like I was getting a little like jealous and frustrated. I'm not, and just insecure about it. And I'm like, man, I've been working my butt off for 5 years. And these people within just a couple months, they have 1 million subs, one of them, 250, 500. And one of my coworkers had to remind me, is like, because he's a very religious person like I am. He said, "It's God's will, bro. It's not yours." So God had that happen for a reason. Maybe you weren't, mature enough yet, or mentally ready, or who knows. There's a reason for it, and we don't know what that is. So he had to put me back in my lane and remind me to, just
No,
trust in.
that's great advice because I mean we all feel it. I swear, like we watch some of these guys, especially like streamers. If you start streaming a game or something, like these Minecraft streamers and stuff get like a
Mm,
million subscribers like overnight. You're like, okay, what is happening? But they picked a niche, they ran with it, and they owned it, and they were good at it too. And now it's not just skill; you have to have a passion for this stuff too. You
mhm.
can't just start talking about something. That was another thing I learned throughout this whole journey. Is really I shoot a lot, and because of that, I'm getting better and better at shooting. I can understand, a lot of the parts in the firearms, how to put them together, how to take them apart, how to fix stuff. Like even taking out screws get stripped from an RMR that like fell off, whatever. Like that kind of stuff, you kind of learn. You're like, wow, like this kind of stuff I like to put on YouTube and talk about. And of course, now it's a struggle now with YouTube's guidelines, but
Yeah.
before that, like that kind of stuff really changed my channel. Some of my top videos are still how to disassemble
Yep.
something like an old Ruger Mark IV or something that's like really kind of difficult to kind of put back together, how to take apart a Luger or something. Those kind of videos get the most views over time because it's something that people come back to. It's not like a
Yeah.
one and done.
Yes. And Google, and as you know, Google and YouTube are the biggest search engines in the world. So if someone
Yep.
searches something, yeah, it's going to get found that way.
But jealousy, I guess, like you said, is not really the word. I think it's that, I'm excited to see people grow, and whether it's shorts or through reels or TikTok nowadays, whatever it is, although firearms wouldn't really be too related to TikTok, but it's something where I think it's just natural to be like, wow, like why did they all of a sudden just skyrocket to fame? Like, I've done better videos sometimes. You can't really think like that though. You could be like,
Yeah.
well, that's awesome. That's awesome. They're doing it. I'm gonna keep doing me.
Yep.
And
Stay in my
honestly,
lane.
like, yep, stay in my lane, keep going, keep pushing out content, and just getting feedback on people, what they like, what they don't like, getting information out there. Because if I'm learning about something, tearing apart something, trying to fix something, then I'll put a video out to see if someone else has that same problem, and they'll, sure enough, it might help someone, which is really what it's all about. Like, just kind of keep doing it and just consistency, because you just never know. Someday, maybe all of a sudden, there's a couple of big hits. I've had a couple of videos that hit in recent years that all of a sudden you get, oh, I got like almost a million views, and you gain like 3,000 subscribers or whatever it is, and you get like a little excited there
It's
for a
nice
minute.
when that happens.
Yeah, it's just a fun little boost, right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of what it's all about. Is just kind of just keep doing it, grind it out, share as much as you can.
Yeah. That's what happened with the Neomag YouTube page. They had like, I don't know, 100,000 subs. They had a good sized channel, and they had 4 or 5 old videos all of a sudden just start popping off like crazy, and then multi-million views. And within a very short period of time, they went from like 100,000 subs to like, I think they're like 330 now, just because they had some shorts pop
Wow.
and poof. Yeah.
Those
They
shorts,
grew
man, they
really
do
quick.
good. Different audiences, though, I tell you, shorts versus regular. It still is, but I think it still helps get the
100%
numbers
different.
up.
It does. It just doesn't make. That was the other thing I were talking to those people where one of them had 250,000 subs, and my channel was at like 50,000. So his page was 5 times the size, but he
Yep.
was making like a third of the amount of money every month
Oh
because
yeah.
it was all off of shorts. His long form got no views. So I was like, well, that's interesting. I
Yeah.
never thought about it. So
Well, same thing with all the other platforms. Like people think that, people get rich off of podcasts or reels or TikToks or shorts. But a lot of that short form stuff, there's a reason why they have ad placements, because there usually aren't
mm,
any ads. So YouTube's not going to pay out very much. So instead, you'll be like, this is sponsored by this or whatever it is, right? That's just
got to
how
pay the
people want to make it
bills.
in. Yeah. So, and podcasts are the same way. Podcasts, like I know a bunch of friends who do podcasts, and now you're doing live stream too. Like you don't make a ton off of it, but eventually you have like sponsors and things like that, and plus you get your name out there, and it's still pretty powerful, really.
Absolutely. Speaking of sponsors, my buddies from Capable Citizen gave me this sweatshirt. It is the softest, most comfortable sweatshirt I have ever felt in my life. It's amazing. Capable Citizen is a bunch of local buddies to me. They have, I'm not sure what YouTube will allow me to say, a bunch of accessories and parts for the things that we do. And yeah, they're just local buddies selling a bunch of that stuff. And if you want to go check out their website or social media, I appreciate it. And I also have they came out with a really nice barrel. and an upper, but I can't show that obviously on YouTube, but I'm going to be reviewing that soon. So
That's
I just
awesome,
wanted to
dude.
mention.
It's hard to find a good sweatshirt. I'm glad it's comfy.
Yeah, I love
Some
hoodies.
of these are pretty not very comfy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love hoodies. I'm a big fan. All right, the second question from a
All
viewer,
right.
and there's a backstory to this. You're going to think the question's weird until I explain it. How many different uses of a toothbrush can you think of?
Rattle them off. Go. Actually, funny enough, cleaning firearms was actually one of the number one things. I would go to like Dollar General, Dollar Tree, whatever it is, and just get like a 5 pack of those cheapo ones.
Uh-huh.
And that is so much better than buying like the fancy nylon ones from like the kits, right? Yeah, that even vehicle maintenance stuff. There's sometimes where you
Mm.
really want to scrub some threads out and things like that. Keep those toothbrushes on hand. Beyond, I mean, let's see, beyond toothbrush, actual brushing. I don't know if you really want to make the kid do some chores, you can put him on the floor, have him do the toothbrush, scrub
Go
the
clean the
floor.
toilet with your toothbrush.
Clean the toilet with the toothbrush.
So,
Yeah, get under the lid.
so you made my buddy Paul very happy. I have a follower, Paul, who is in Ireland, who's been a
Yeah,
longtime follower of my channel, and I used to clean guns with a toothbrush in my video, and we
yeah.
talked about this last week, and he made me promise that I would tell this story again, and he's been such a good follower, I promised that I would. So he sent me a really nice wooden toothbrush that says tactical toothbrush on it. And I used to clean all the guns with the tactical toothbrush that he sent to me from Ireland. So
That's awesome.
I promised I would. Yeah, I promised I'd say it again. So before I ask you more questions, do you have any others you want me to ask me or all the group here?
Yeah. What are you excited? You were at Shot Show too. I know you didn't get to walk the floor too much, but what are you excited about this year? What new
I am
hotness?
Um, well, in general, I'm very excited and motivated to grow my channel to 100,000 subs. So
Okay.
a general answer to that question is growing my channel to 100,000. Now, it's not going to be tough. It is going to be tough. Excuse
I was
me.
gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, right. Words.
Wow, Tiberius.
I'm on pace. I'm on pace to be like 75,000, 80,000 somewhere in that area. So it's going to take a lot of hard work and creativeness, and that's part of these live videos. It's part of the reason why I updated my background. I changed my lights. I had my buddy who's a videographer come in and help me with the layout. And I've gotten the comment from a lot of people like, "Oh, you got a new camera." I'm like, "No, I just got someone who knew what they were doing to tell me where to put my lights."
Yeah,
And I
lighting's
try
all.
to
It's all about
recreate it.
lighting.
It is audio and
Crazy.
lighting. It is. So, me personally, my goal is to hit 100,000 subs, and that's not going to be easy, but that's my goal.
What
Um,
changed, I guess, in the last couple of years where all of a sudden you think you started taking off more? Is there any particular videos or any kind of style of videos that you thought was really helpful for your channel that the viewers enjoyed?
I'm not sure. For like most people, my channel was gaining like 500 subs a month, 800 subs a month,
Yeah.
1,000 a month, doing pretty good. And then it jumped up to like 1,500. No, jumped up to like it stayed between like 1,000 and 1,200 a month because everyone says it's a snowball effect. As it goes more, you get more and more and more and more
Yeah.
subscribers every month. And then once I got to like 1,000, 1,200, it stopped increasing, and I just kept on going at that like 1,000 subs a month. And no matter what I did, it didn't increase, and that was a little frustrating, a little bit.
Yeah, discouraging. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted it to grow at a faster pace. I'm not patient, and I don't. This year it has increased. It's been between like 1,800 to 2,000 most months. This past month was 1,600. So I don't know if it's any content related or the making the improvements. I'm asking people more to subscribe to the channel if they think I deserve it. I don't know if that's helping. So I don't know exactly what it is, but it's going up a lot. It's going up 40, 50, 60, 70% depending on the month. So that's exciting.
And then
Um,
for your lighting was the guy he came in and probably did the whole key light thing and like have two lights and a key light and all that stuff.
yeah, so this room I'm in is pretty small and it's my office as well. So I'm
Yeah.
limited on where I can put things. And my buddy who's a videographer, the one who owns Anvil Media, that marketing company, he is the Gucciest of the most Gucci person I've ever met, especially with camera stuff. So he's like, I said, dude, I don't want anything very expensive for lights. I don't. And he's like, oh, I got you, I got you, I got you. And he pulls up this $1,000 light package. I'm like, bro, I'm not dropping $1,000 on lights. So I haven't actually upgraded my lights. I just improved where I put them. I
Yeah.
got some blackout shades so I can control the lights more. So I just like I had a light back there that was on. What happened to it? Let's see. Little accident. Oh, battery must have died. Oh well. But doing different, just playing with the lights. Like you have some nice lights behind you there.
Yep.
That's nice. It looks good.
I try. Well, same thing. This is my office slash studio. So I used to have sitting behind a table for a few years, and I
Hmm.
would just do videos behind a table and talking. But I just figured that I wanted to switch it up because that way I can stand and then also do more live streams. And I've been doing the movie reviews just at my desk and just
Mm.
talking in front of the camera, just walking through. I got a nice like microphone. I ended up getting a Rode podcast mic because I'm doing more live streams and podcasts and things like that. So it's just
Mm.
fun to kind of have a little bit better audio and kind of run through it. But I think one of the biggest things I upgraded to those DJI wireless lab mics, which is right. I'm gonna tell you right there, dude.
Dude, these are the best.
I had the Rode. All right, so for anyone watching, I had the Rode like the Go twos for years. All right, originally I think a lot of start with like wired mics, but wireless have really kind of taken off over the years, and they're becoming more
Hmm.
affordable and better. Well, DJI, which is obviously a drone company,
Yep.
has kind of dabbled in the audio industry for probably 5 years now. And my buddy had John Patton over at the Gun Collective. He had
Hmm.
the OG DJI mics, and he was like, "Check this out, man! It's like little AirPod cases." It was like 3 or 4 years ago. I was like, "Dude,
So
that's
awesome.
crazy!" And those things have like this like 30-bit float rate thing, and they like much more. You can play around the back end a little bit more over the audio, and I love them. Like I use them on my phone, use them on my
Yep.
DSLR, all that.
Yeah, I use them constantly. And the battery lasts forever.
Yeah,
Forever. You
I
never have
almost
to do
never charge the case. Yeah.
the case lasts forever. That thing is fantastic. And it does I've used them at shows a few times and it does a very good job focusing on your voice and not picking up background noise.
Yes, that's a big deal because people don't understand how loud that show is. So, SHOT Show, especially in the basement, like it's almost like a constant roar in
Yep.
that whole area. So, when you're talking, I remember when I first went to SHOT Show, 2019 or something like that, 18, something like that. That SHOT Show, I had a shotgun mic and I had the camera like still right there, and it picked up everything.
Yeah.
Whereas then I started getting the Rode mics that were okay, but then I did DJI the last couple of years, and it's been amazing.
Yeah. So much better. So much better. All right. Let me see what else I want to ask you. Favorite adult beverage and favorite snack?
Twofer, huh?
Yeah.
Adult
Double.
beverage, I've been on a margarita kick. I don't know if it's because it's like above 40 degrees finally, but
Where are
I-
you again? I forgot.
in like the Raleigh, North Carolina area. So
That's right.
central North Carolina, around that
I
area.
knew that. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, right now I think today is actually 70 something, which is the warmest yet. So it's almost like turning the AC back on kind of deal.
Nice.
And with that, I think we've been getting all sorts of different kinds of tequila. Like it's just funny. Like over the last year or two, we've been just like whenever we want to drink, it'd be like, hey, throw a margarita on that. Plus, you can throw a couple of shots in there. And if you want, you can actually make the actual mix, which is like triple sec and lime juice and all that, right? Or you can be lazy and get the Jose
Bottle.
mix, whatever. Exactly, right. But it's just nice because you can just chill out there, and it's just a nice drink. That or just like a whiskey sour and heavy on the whiskey, little dash of sour.
I hate tequila.
There you go, whiskey sour.
Ugh, I hate tequila. Yeah, man. I don't know if I've had tequila since my honeymoon. I just
It's it brings back some memories for sure.
Mhm,
You never
mhm.
forget tequila if there's a bad night, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it just smells like feet to me now, and
It does.
I just can't. Nope.
I made some awesome. It's funny. I posted on my story the other day just because it popped up again. But Martha Stewart has that liquored up eggnog every
I saw
Christmas.
that. She had like
Last 2 years, yeah,
she had like 3 cups of bourbon in that.
3 cups of bourbon. Oh, and just another 2 cups of shandy or whatever. What was the thing? It wasn't shandy. It was I don't know what it was, like
I forgot.
Cordio, whatever it was. There's another one in there. There's like brandy and something else, but some fancy drink. But yeah, I've made that the last couple of years for our like Christmas parties with the family and everything comes over, and that friggin' bowl gets like licked clean, and it is like real eggnog, like a dozen eggs, which is actually like a mortgage payment now. And then you can go and just stir it up and whip it up, and it's been great.
Egg prices have started to come down, which is
Oh,
good.
good, good, yeah,
Which is good. And we have chickens. Right now we had 4. We
yeah.
lost 2, but we have We have chickens, 4 and
I
a
want
few
to get a
more.
couple. I got a nice backyard. We're not supposed to have chickens in the city limits here because of this town ordinance, but honestly, who
Stupid.
cares?
Stupid. Yeah. Like my neighbors are right on top. Like we have chickens right over here, and our neighbor's fence, my chicken coop's right near it. But as long as you don't get a rooster, they're not that loud. They're quiet.
No, yeah, and just a few. I don't need many. I just need, like you said, a few little
Yep.
hen house there, and give me a few eggs a day. We're not gonna need that much.
It's perfect. I give them table scraps and they poop my breakfast. Like
It's beautiful.
it's a win-win. It's a win-win. All right, last question for me, and then if you have any
Oh,
others,
so you
feel
said
free to.
snack. Wait, we didn't do
Oh,
snack yet.
snack,
I
snack,
mean,
snack, snack.
eggnog is kind of a snack, but uh, snack food. Man, a good Chex Mix.
Oh
Honestly,
yeah,
like, that hits, right? I mean, a good one, like what was one with little brown biscuits in it? The Jura Deli, whatever that weird one is, like, it has, like, little brown bread in it. Those are really good. I think it's called
like
Giardini or something.
the circle, the little round circle brown.
Yeah. There's a Chex Mix that's, like, a different brand that sells that. But, Chex Mix honestly is really good. We'll make homemade Chex Mix for, like, some of the holidays too and just throw all sorts of good stuff in there, like the tortilla chips and all that in there is really good. That's just a nice, salty snack, but, I mean, we really don't snack that much, to be honest with you. Like, I would almost choose, like, a burger patty instead of that just to get protein.
Yeah, yeah. I'd rather have a steak or a burger over a
Right?
snack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sweet one. I prefer sweet over salty.
Yeah.
Definitely, I always go sweet. Always go
Good.
sweet.
Alright.
All right, so
What else you got?
let everybody know let everybody know what's next for your channel, what's coming up, what's your plans, videos, content, shows, whatever you have going on coming up. What's in the future?
So I'm still gonna stick to Movie Monday. I think it's something that's interesting to me. I think it'll be interesting to everyone else. I'm gonna do all sorts of movies, even dating back to I did Goldfinger, which is one of the OG 007 movies, but way
Hmm.
back when, which is hilarious because back then they really just kind of found whatever prop they wanted for guns and were like, here you go. Like it was crazy. Like they used like a 22 for a sniper rifle, and it's pretty funny. As I talk about in the video, and it's just kind of fun. So Movie Monday for sure. I think that's something that I really enjoy doing and dropping it every Monday afternoon. I still do full reviews every week as well, usually on Thursday. So tomorrow's another one coming up. That being said, I got another MP5. So I have an MP5K, another clone, like an MKE, but now I got the Turkish Mac, which
Oh
Mac is pretty
yeah,
popular.
I'm about to do
Yeah,
one of those too.
it is super sick because I think it's actually a little better quality than the Century Arms and stuff that was coming out a few years ago. I've had
Yeah,
problems with my AP5P and I had to switch out to HK parts. I did a whole video on it and it's running better. But this Mac, I can dump mags, no issues still. So I'm going to do a few videos, comparison videos, do some upgrade videos, talking about what I want to do to it. And then I want to get back into some older guns too. I think older guns really sell. SKSs, Mosins, like you just don't see those as much anymore. And
mm,
there's things that we've all kind of grew up with because they were just dirt cheap, 10
yeah,
years ago, whatever it was. So some of the Milsurp stuff, Polish stuff is starting to come in more and more because Poland's trying to switch over their arsenal to more modernized NATO stuff. So I'm seeing a lot of Polish Milsurp on the market now. So I'm picking up some Polish stuff. I got like the FB Random, Beryl, 5.56 AK. They got some handguns coming in that are pretty sweet from their old Makarov rounds and all that. So
very
trying to do
cool,
some, unique things again interests me. And then maybe if it's something you guys have or are looking at, then it could be pretty cool.
awesome. What
Oh, and then
about
camping
shows? You
too.
going to any? Say it again.
I was say camping too. So camping this
Yeah,
year, the kids are getting older finally because the problem was I can only take Colton, but now Zoe's almost 4. So now I'm like I can take both kids camping, and like last week I spent 4 days out in the mountains with Colton and did a bunch of videos and slept in a ground tent instead of rooftop, and it was like one of the instant tents I got it from Costco, and I was like this is pretty cool.
yeah,
I should do a review on that, um, but yeah, we did. So I can take the other little one, little girl there. We can go camping, and we love a good camping because you can try new things. I got a bunch of the different battery things like Jackeries and
yeah.
EcoFlows, and we can play Mario Kart at the campsite with a projector setup I have with the batteries, so you can just go off grid and like play Mario Kart on the side of the
Very
tent. It's
cool.
it's hilarious. So we have a lot of fun going camping and still like goof off around the fire and all that. Just bring some modern technology along with us too. So doing more and more stuff like that I think is really cool, and I'm looking for other things like e-bikes and things like that too that
Yeah.
we use on the daily, which are a lot of fun, and I think a lot of people use them. So not just firearms, yeah, gear, like it is, yeah, just gear too.
Yeah, I think the Costco tent review would be good. Anything reviewing anything from Costco, I think, would probably get a ton of views because
It did. I have a North Rock mountain bike a couple years ago I bought. That is one of my most popular videos ever because everyone want to know what is it. Well, it turns out it's made by Giant, but it's marketed as a North Rock brand for Costco, and it's amazing. Like for a couple of bucks, few hundred bucks, like it's been great for a mountain bike. I'll hit the trails right up here and go on the dirt trails and go miles and do little jumps and stuff. Like it's real chill for
awesome.
the price point.
Yeah, we don't have a Costco nearby. We have to drive over an hour to get to a
Oh, that's
Costco,
not good.
which
Yeah.
stinks. And you got to realize when I say drive an hour for a Rhode Islander, that's like you driving 3 or 4 hours because
Oh,
we're such a small state. Like if I have to drive more than 20 minutes, it's like no, I'm not. I'm not driving 20 minutes, like because everything's so small and close by and everything. We never go that far. Not happening.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a different world. How about shows? That's what I was going to ask you. Any shows coming up?
Shows, yeah. So actually, I know we're, NRA is kind of still shaky, but NRAM we usually go to just because it's usually, pretty chill show and it's in the public view so people can go. They're in Atlanta, which is
Hmm.
only like 5 hours away. So I might just go down there for the weekend anyways. That's in like, I don't even know, April or something. There's also
End of
I've
April.
been
Yeah.
debating I've been debating if I want to go, but beginning of April is Clash Bash, which is
Oh.
put on by all those guys, Clayco and Fit and Fire is going and all that. It's a good group of dudes. It's like kind of an AK party, basically slash range day. It's like a whole weekend long. I think it's like the first weekend of April. I don't know if I'm going to go yet. I'm definitely not going to go compete. They sold out of competition passes real quick, so people are excited about AK still, which is good. But I might go down there just for the weekend down in Houston. It's over like west of Houston,
Hmm.
just to go check it out. I haven't really decided on that one yet. I might look into it. And then I think we talked about Gun Con is now in Ohio, which
Hmm.
is interesting. I think it's Cleveland. I've never been, so I think I'll drive up there. I think it's about like 9 hours or so. So
It's
I
not
might
too
go up
bad.
there for that too. It's not bad at all. Yeah,
Yeah, I
better
think
than
it's right outside.
Brownells.
It's right outside of Cleveland. I think it's like an hour outside of Cleveland. No, no, not an hour. No, less than an hour.
Yeah, it's much closer than Iowa because Iowa was way out there, which I did drive that last year with Mr. Big Kid with Steve. We both shared driving up there. And we went all the way over there, and then we drove straight through back, which is like I think it's like 17 hours back, and we just alternated taking turns and got there like at 7 in the morning the next day. It
That's tough. That's tough.
was
Yeah,
crazy, but
I'll
yeah,
fly when it's that far.
I know. I know. I'm getting to that point now too. It was fun to drive a little road trip, but man, there's also nothing out there, so
Yeah,
it's crazy.
absolutely nothing. How about
But that's it.
goals?
Yeah. Goals, yeah, when is that? So it's August. I'm say goals is in August. Ivy 88, which is it's gonna be at some point in the fall. Probably that one as well. And then you're coming back up to Shot Show. Probably. I don't know if there's anything else on the radar.
No, I'll be at goals. I probably won't be at IV 88 or GunCon. I don't think I'll be at those two, but I'll
Not
definitely be
GunCon,
at
yeah.
goals. No, Neomag will be at GunCon. They're so
Okay.
close. They're like a half hour away. And for
Wow.
Greg, the owner of Neomag, to fly me out when they're a half hour away is like that's just a waste of money. So
Yeah.
that
No,
probably won't happen.
goals is really cool. I thought, for the first year of having it last year in Knoxville it was a blast. I think a lot of
Mm.
companies showed up. They really helped support the initiative from such a good um, from just a good, Gun Owners of America there being like a good, I guess, I don't know what they're called, but not charity, but
Organization.
whatever, an organization, yeah, whatever it's called, yeah, just kind of helping with the 2A, right? So with that, I think it was a great event. They did really good. I know a lot of the guys over there at GOA, and then I think GunCon just helping John. He pulls all this together, and all these companies, bunch of great companies. It keeps growing every year, so people like it, and
Yeah.
it's much more of a in the public eye because this public can go get tickets. You can go meet people, watch the panels, and the panels are all sorts of good folks on YouTube and Instagram and all that. So
Yeah.
that's a
It's
good
a
event
unique
usually.
unique event for sure. And Goals picked up a lot of big companies. They picked up like Glock and Canic, and
Yeah.
they picked up a lot of big companies. So I was happy for them. That really gives a legitimacy to that show when
Yep. Yep.
you
A lot
get
of work
all
paid
those
off.
big guys in there. Yeah, actually, my I have a new Canic that just got delivered like a half hour before we went live. I had a new gun delivered at my gun store, and I'm like, do I have time to go run and get it real quick? But I was like, no, I'll never make it back in time. So I got to go
I got the
grab it
text
tomorrow.
today. I got 2 new things at the gun store, and I was like, I'm not gonna have time. It closes at 6. So I'm like, all right, tomorrow morning, first thing.
Yeah, I'll go tomorrow when I have a chance. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, bro. You got anything else for me?
Oh man. What are you gonna do when you hit 100,000 this year?
As I get close, I am going to do a very big giveaway.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to start doing regular giveaways like I used to because I think they help my channel grow and people like them, so it can't
Yeah.
hurt even if people just like them. You know what I mean? So I'll do like small ones a couple times a year, and then when I get closer to 75, I'll do a big one, and then when I hit 100, I'm gonna do a really big giveaway. Like I want to try to get a rifle fully kitted with everything somebody needs, maybe some armor to go with it, an optic, everything. You know, it's sent Neomag Sentry strap on there, of course, and
Oh
just
yeah.
totally kitted out. And then I know a lot of people when they get their plaque, they because they don't like YouTube and YouTube kit is not very pro gun, they view the plaque as a negative thing. And lots of people have shot their plaque and blew it up and everything.
Yeah.
But for me, I look at it very differently. Like I'm not agreeing with YouTube's policies, but that's years of hard work. And the one thing when you were talking about starting a YouTube channel that we didn't mention is if you have to have a full-time job and a YouTube thing, that's 2 full-time jobs really there if you're going to make consistent content. And if you have a family, that's also a full-time job that's more important than both of those other jobs. So it's a lot of hard work and a lot of juggling and a lot of going to the range and time away from the family and everything else. So I view that plaque as a reward of years of hard work.
Yeah.
So I look forward to that plaque is going to go right on that shelf behind me, assuming it fits. I don't know. Assuming
I'm
it
right there
fits.
with you. I'm right there with you. I think it's a milestone. It's not something that is like, oh man, like that's great. YouTube gave me this, but man, it sucks about their policies. Whatever it is, it's just that it's something where we work so hard because I don't know if a lot of people know. Even filming a short or let's say like a reel or something could take an hour, depending on what you're doing for it. Filming a full video, edit, post, waiting for it to upload, get approved, all that good stuff hours, right? As we know,
Deleting and
hours. Yeah,
re-uploading it because it didn't get approved.
it's a full-time job. And like you
It
mentioned,
is.
if we're all working, our 9 to 5s like we're doing, and then you're doing, you have kids, family, then you have YouTube, you're cutting out other hobbies for sure. Like you're not going to be able to sit on the couch, watch TV, video games as much. You like owning a boat, all that stuff. Like if you like doing the fishing, right? Like talking about that kind of stuff. Like if you like doing that stuff, then just know YouTube takes a big amount of time. So that's why we like doing it. It's not, I mean, a lot of us aren't really in it for the money or fame or anything. It's just something that we're interested in. Like, here's some cool stuff. I like this. Check it out. Here it is. It works. I don't tell you.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. It's fun. Plus, like, we talked about a while ago about, just the experiences you get to go on, like these like different
Mm.
events you get to go to, jumping on with people from all over the world. Like the comment section is hilarious and crazy at the same time. Like just all that stuff just kind of all comes together as a YouTube experience. And I think it kind of resonates from not just our industry and YouTube, but any YouTube channel. It's just that's why we do it. And then you see a lot of like the travel channels, and they do that kind of stuff because they film a video. Like maybe if you go to St. John's, go and film a video there too, and be like, "Hey, look, here it
I
is."
should start a travel video, man. I
Uh,
love to travel. I
Yeah,
love it.
no, same here. And I remember doing. I should have filmed, but I didn't because I was just like in awe. But a couple years ago, I went to Japan for the first time and spent a
Oh,
whole week in
dude.
Japan. Went with a couple of buddies, and I tell you, that is my favorite place in the world. like to go to. Like it was so much fun. The food is great. Everything's real cheap there. But I brought like the Blue Alpha fanny pack, and it had like medical stuff in it instead of like a gun, obviously, and like a tourniquet and medical stuff, and like had that, and like had my EDC on me, like for a travel EDC I call it, and I've done a couple of videos on that before. Just things you can use in an emergency or things you might need if there's a problem,
Yeah.
but it's obviously not seen as a weapon, right? So the stuff you have. So it was just fun, like going over there. But that place is awesome. Go to Japan. Go to Tokyo,
Yeah.
Kyoto, Osaka.
Japan is high on my list. My wife is not. It's not as high on her list, but Japan is the tippy top of my list. It is.
My wife's the same way. She's like, I don't. Why would I go there? It's like, but once you go, man, it is just everyone's
Yeah.
so. The other thing is nice and clean. That's the two words I
Yeah.
would describe it. Like
Everyone
everyone's
says.
super nice,
Yeah.
like super clean, like everything. You can walk around at night, no issues. Like there's nothing, and everything's just super. Yeah, everyone's nice and just really polite to you. And if you need help, there's people behind like the train station walls. They'll like open the door, be like, "Can I help you?" Like it's like you're just like sitting there looking at the map, and like they pop out of nowhere. It's really funny.
You look lost, white boy. How can we
Lost
help
white
you?
boy.
And
KFC
everyone
is over
says,
there.
yeah, everyone says the same thing, that everyone is just so polite and so nice there and
It's the
respectful.
culture. They're just very respectful. So it's just
Yeah.
yeah, everyone we met was great. We did a couple of like private food tours too with like a few people, and they like she took us to all the bars and the local places where all the guys go after work and all that. And it was so cool to hear all that, all the
Very cool.
stories.
Very cool. My dog is knocking on this door. I don't know if you can hear him. He's hitting it, trying to get in here. Like, what are you doing, Dad?
Yeah. No, the new the AirPods that I'm using here, the same thing you're wearing, like they knock out noise like crazy. Like I couldn't hear anything. And then if you're going like if I'm walking and talking on the phone for a meeting or something and like there's a bunch of cars going by, like
Yeah.
everyone always says, "Oh, I don't hear anything." I'm like, "Oh wow, I could barely hear you." So
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why I usually only wear one, especially when I'm at the gym and stuff. Like, it kills the background noise so much.
yeah,
And unless I'm on an airplane, like I'll put both in an airplane because they're
yeah.
so loud. But any other time, I try to just to put one in because it does a good job killing the 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 noise around you, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. All right, man. Well, my
Yeah,
wife
good
just got
stuff.
home, and yeah, I'm gonna go see my wife and eat dinner. Thank you for
Oh,
your
yeah.
time. For anybody who's still watching, there's a link down to the Gear Know How channel, so please go give him a follow and check out what he's doing, and especially the movie stuff. I think that's really cool and unique, and something to help you stand out a little bit in this sea of gun tubers.
It's a big sea, but there's a lot of fish now, so
It's true.
just keep up the good work. You know, honesty and good content is the number 2 thing, like, the 2 things that people really wanna see. They just wanna have honest reviews, the good and the bad, and then just, you don't have to be like a fancy studio setup or anything, just tell it as it is. Some of the guys film on iPhones, so if you're looking to start,
Yeah.
a channel, get an iPhone. If you wanna be real fancy, get a DJI mic setup, and you can just do it on the back of your truck in the in
Yeah.
the driveway, like, it
I
doesn't
did it off
matter.
my I did it off my phone in my backyard for a while, and then my phone at the range, and then my phone in this room with no background, so, yeah, you can easily start that way and work your
Don't
way up.
use your iPhone at the range without another mic though,
Yeah.
because it cuts out. I don't know if anyone knows that, but it cuts out noise worse than any microphone ever. Like it'll just
Mhm.
shut off the noise for like 30 seconds after that because it just detects that loud noise. So yeah, you'll learn that. Get something else for that.
Yes. Yeah. I learned that the hard way for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, awesome, dude. This has been a great stream.
Yeah, man. Thank you for your time, I appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
Talk to you soon.